Ladies and gentlemen, it's the busiest man in quarantine, Josh Gad.
It's the most tired man in quarantine. Look at these bags right there. These are shopping bags now.
Josh, that's because you've been changing the entertainment industry bit by bit for the last 10 weeks. Have you slept, by the way?
Not nearly enough. I'm definitely tired. I'm feeling, it's also just gloomy gray skies out today, which I think is part of it. But always exciting to talk to you and to talk about things that I'm really excited about, like Artemis, which at a time when everyone can use just a momentary break of chaos and hardship and pain. I hope we continue to bring light and escapism where we can to families who need it.
Well, I definitely had to do a double take when I was watching. I was like, whoa, wait, that's Josh?
That's me.
That's Josh. What, do you have your kids seen it yet? And what did they think when they saw you?
My kids haven't seen the film, but I would FaceTime them twice a day from set. And then when they came to visit me, obviously brought them to the set to come see me. And I mean, it just never ceased to amaze them. They were so tickled by such a hairy daddy.
Is that what they called you, hairy daddy?
Yes, hairy dada.
How many projects have you done during quarantine? Are you keeping track?
I've lost track. Here's what I'm trying to do during quarantine, though. I'm just trying to do everything that I can to bring joy and make a difference if I can. Like Reunited Apart, it's been obviously a very tough week plus here, and seeing the response to the episode we did with the Lord of the Rings, not only the joy it's brought people, but also to raise $130,000 for No Kid Hungry at a time when they desperately need it. That's what's keeping me going. It's what's keeping me upright. So happy to do everything I can.
Who's next, by the way, on Reunited?
The Ghostbusters.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, but I'm just
don't play with my emotions, Josh Gad.
That would be a very random thing to lie to you about that you could fact check easily online.
That's amazing. Good stuff.
Yeah, very excited.
And we need to see them right now too, because the movie got pushed back. So that's very genius. Such a smart man.
Trying to bring joy.
He's almost as smart as Artemis, everybody. Artemis is this boy wonder, though. Such a gifted young kid. What were you really good at as a kid?
I was really good at imaginative play. So I used to have these G.I. Joe's action figures, and I must have sounded like a psychopath, because I would immerse myself in this world and bring these characters to life. And what's so funny is now I see my own girls doing that imaginative play, and it's so amazing to see, to the point that I actually believe in fairies now, because they have this whole fairy world that is in their room that is so real to them. And they talk to me about the fairies that come at night and visit and sometimes leave notes. And so it's made me believe in fairies.
I kind of love that. I really do love that. I was one of those kids too, because I was an only child, so I didn't have anybody to play with. So I had to make it all up and figure it all out myself.
I'm one of three, so it was a different experience, but they were older than me. So
that's why, because you were the youngest. You had to. That's exactly why. So we got Father's Day coming up. Is there anything you have been hinting, dropping little hints, or what does the perfect Father's Day look like for you?
Perfect Father's Day looks like the end of 2020. If someone could wrap that up in a bow and just deliver me to December 31st, it'd be an amazing Father's Day gift. I would love it. No, right now I'm not really my mind is so rushing with so many emotions right now that I haven't even thought about what I could have that's gonna distract me or bring, probably a charitable contribution is the most joy I would get right now if that's what my wife decided and my kids decided to get me for Father's Day.
I love that. You know, and you mentioned like everything that's going on, how your head's spinning. I actually have to say thank you for making me laugh today, because I've been doing so much crying and sighing and like, you know, just worrying over the last few days. So I wonder where your heart is and how your heart is in the current climate that we're in.
My heart hurts. I'm in pain. I mean, I'm in pain because I thought we were past this, and I'm angry, and I'm disturbed, and I'm pissed. I'm just pissed. Trying to use it as a teaching moment, trying to use it as a learning moment, trying to listen, and do what I can to raise two kids who can deliver a better future than we've managed to up until now. And it's hard. It's hard to sort of have to be as blunt as we have to be right now with our kids, but I'm also very hopeful because I'm having a discussion with a 9 and a 6-year-old about social justice reform. That's important, and maybe this moment can be a real instead of a moment, a movement that will change the future for a lot of people.
Can I ask you, because I know what those conversations are like in Black households, because my parents had them with me, and I've had to have them with my, godkids and cousins and whatnot. But what's that conversation that a white parent has with their child? How do you approach this type of conversation?
From the perspective of the experience, from the perspective of what we don't know, from the perspective of how much ignorance there is in the world. So yesterday, or 2 days ago rather, we sat Ava down, my oldest, and talked to her specifically about George Floyd and talked to her about the idea that there is police brutality. And obviously, her experiences are very different because of the color of her skin. And we did it in as delicate a way as we could, and using a lot of the touchstones that experts are sort of talking about using. But her response really heartened me, because she got really angry and she said, I don't understand why anyone would be treated differently based on the color of their skin. So it makes me feel like there's hope. And it makes me feel like there's a chance of change, of real change. Because she and her friends are now talking about it. I see the school talking about it. I see interactions that I haven't necessarily seen before in real time. And I am fortunate enough to come from a family who had very difficult conversations with me. When I was 6 years old, my grandparents told me about their experiences with regard to the Holocaust and what discrimination can look like, and how dark it can get, and how many loved ones they had to say goodbye to because they made the simple mistake of being Jewish. So I really am doing my best to educate, to inform, and again to learn, because I think there's so much that all of us have to learn right now.
Well, just in your daughter's response, it should also show you that you and your wife are doing a pretty darn good job. So we appreciate that.
We've screwed them up in so many other ways. You get right.
You got to get one thing right? I appreciate you, Josh, all the time. You guys be well and be safe. And let's see, what you got next week? What are we going to do next week? Do you want to go to space? Like, are you going to be in the next space shuttle?
I want to take a nap. I just want to take a nap from the world. I want to be Rip Van Winkle and wake up and see that the world has just changed. That would be ideal right now.
Love it. Thank you so much, man.
You're the best. Be safe.
Right, bye-bye.